He was once unstoppable, the heir to Pelé, the most expensive player in football history. But behind the billions, the glory and the smile, Neymar Jr. was crying alone, unable to get up, wanting to quit forever. "For me, that's it," he told his father. "I don't even know if it's worth operating." The man who had conquered Europe, who had broken transfer records, who had scored more goals for Brazil than anyone in history, was ready to walk away. And what happened next made millions of fans around the world break down in tears. This is the shocking confession that nobody saw coming. The truth about Neymar's darkest moment, and the heartbreaking reason he almost gave up on football forever. Let's start with the numbers, because the numbers tell a story of greatness, but they also tell a story of pain. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. is Brazil's all-time leading goal scorer, 130 appearances, 80 goals for his country. He won the Champions League with Barcelona. He led PSG to their first ever Champions League final. He was part of one of the greatest attacking trios football has ever seen, MSN, alongside Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez. He was the most expensive player in history, $222 million, a world record that still stands. In November 2025, Neymar Sr., the father who had guided his son's career from the streets of Mogi das Cruzes to the top of the world, revealed something that shocked the footballing universe. His son, the man who had everything, was ready to throw it all away. "I went to his house and asked him how he was," Neymar Sr. told Rafa Tecla in an emotional interview. "He looked at me and said, 'I can't take it anymore. I'll have surgery. Dad, I don't even know if it's worth operating.' For me, that's it." The man who had scored 79 goals for Brazil. The man who had won league titles in 3 different countries. The man who had earned more money than most people could dream of. He was done, finished, ready to walk away. His father's response was immediate, desperate, loving. "What do you mean? That's it? Look, have the surgery and stop, and next year we'll think about what to do. If you want to have surgery and focus on your recovery next year, I'm here with you." To understand why Neymar wanted to quit, you have to understand the physical torture he had endured. The October 2023 injury was the breaking point. A World Cup qualifier against Uruguay. A push from Nico de la Cruz, a fall, a terrible twist of the knee. He was stretchered off the field in tears. The diagnosis was devastating. A ruptured anterior cruciate ligament and meniscus in his left knee. He would be out for 340 days, almost a full year of his career, gone. But this wasn't the first injury, and it wouldn't be the last. Neymar had joined Al Hilal in August 2023 for a reported fee of around $90 million. The Saudi Pro League champions were paying him a reported salary of around $104 million a year, 7 appearances in 18 months. A career in Saudi Arabia that was supposed to be a triumph turned into a nightmare. The ACL injury, the long recovery, a brief return, then a hamstring injury, then nothing. Al Hilal's coach, Jorge Jesus, said the words that every player fears. He can no longer play at the level we are used to. Things have become difficult for him, unfortunately. Neymar and Al Hilal mutually agreed to terminate his contract in January 2025. He was going home, back to Santos, back to where it all began. His return to Santos was supposed to be the ultimate redemption story, the prodigal son coming home. The prince returning to his kingdom. His debut as a starter came on February 10, 2025, his first start in a year and 4 months. The last time he had started a game was October 18, 2023, the night of the injury. And what did that return look like? This wasn't Neymar, this was a shadow of the man who had been unstoppable. And the fans noticed. The critics noticed. Everyone noticed. "I think I was unstoppable in those 4 years at PSG," Neymar said, laughing during his Santos reintroduction press conference. The 0-6 defeat to Vasco da Gama in August 2025 wasn't just a loss. It was the worst defeat of Neymar's career. And it broke him. "I'm ashamed. I'm totally disappointed with our performance," he said after the match. "It's a feeling of extreme shame. I've never experienced this in my life. Unfortunately, it happened." The tears were from anger, from everything. It was total that's the reality. He stood on the pitch, tears streaming down his face, as members of the coaching staff had to console him. This was Neymar, the showman, the dancer, the man who played football with joy, and he was weeping on the field. But that wasn't the worst moment. The worst moment came later. In a chilling admission, Neymar confessed to reaching absolute rock bottom, what he called his emotional zero. "I confess that I am very strong emotionally, that I endure a lot, but this time I couldn't endure it anymore," he said. Think about that. The man who had faced criticism his entire career, the man who had been called a diver, a showman, a prima donna, the man who had been booed by his own fans. He had endured all of it, but this time he couldn't. "It was the first time I asked for help," he revealed. Neymar had been to therapy before, but never like this. "I had done therapy before, but it wasn't because I was doing badly. It was because I wanted self-help. But this was the first time my emotional state reached zero, the bottom, the absolute lowest point." He found himself unable to even get out of bed, unable to face the world, unable to find the strength to keep going. "After the match against Flamengo, I received too much criticism. When it comes to me, they always go a bit over the limit," he admitted. "I had no strength to get up alone." But here is where the story takes an unexpected turn. In the darkest moment, when Neymar felt completely alone, a message arrived that would pull him back from the brink. It came from his 13-year-old son, Lucca. "Good night, Dad. I know today was a tough day for you and for us. But I wanted you to know that in these difficult times, when no one is by your side, you know I will always be here to support you," Lucca wrote. "When no one is by your side, you know I will always be here." A 13-year-old boy, comforting his father, telling him he was loved, reminding him that he was not alone. "You are more than an excellent father, you are an idol, my inspiration. And even on the days when you cry, I want you to know that I love you so much," Lucca continued. "Always keep that in mind. Remember that your family is here to support you and help you in every moment, whether difficult or good. You are my dad, and always know that I am here for you." But the most powerful part of the message was yet to come. "And never give up on your biggest dream because of people who don't even know you or who you are, because you are capable. Don't see today's defeat as a failure. Instead, use it as motivation to always be better than yesterday. Never forget, you are amazing. Go get them." This wasn't just a message, it was a lifeline. Neymar shared the message on social media, and the football world wept with him. This was the confession that made fans cry, not just the pain, but the love that pulled him through it. Despite everything, the injuries, the pain, the depression, the desire to quit, Neymar held on. Because there was one dream left, one final goal, the 2026 World Cup. His father convinced him to stay, to fight, to give it one last shot. There are some people out there who are very noisy, very few people, but they make a lot of noise, and they want you to give up. Look, it's not much longer. It's 6 months. After June, July, I don't know if we'll win or not, but at least you have to be in this. You can't accept what those people are doing. You can't listen to what comes from outside," Neymar Sr. told his son. "It was for a second that I managed to convince my son," his father later admitted. 1 second. That's all it took. The difference between quitting and fighting. Neymar made it to the World Cup. He played, he scored, he gave everything he had left, but it wasn't enough. Brazil were eliminated in the round of 16 by Norway. The dream was over. The World Cup that was supposed to be his redemption was just another heartbreak. And then, the final confession came. "I think my time with the national team has already passed," Neymar said. "I made history there, and I'm very happy about it. I experienced a lot there, gave my blood and my life, and always fought and battled for the yellow jersey, but I don't think I want it anymore." Brazilian coach Carlo Ancelotti confirmed what everyone had suspected. "I think this World Cup marks the end of a generation of very important players, starting with Neymar, going through Danilo, Casemiro, all those players who were over 30 years old at the World Cup. The king was gone, the dream was over, but the man who had almost quit, who had cried alone in his room, who had been saved by his son's love, he was still standing."